You think he's more than a man? I tell you, he's less.
Padre, I have sinned.
Avanti, figlio mio. Continue, my son.
I have done some terrible things in my life.
He kills for money. It's that simple. That grotesque.
Figlio mio, I know you well. You are also a good person.
Lead me, O Heavenly Father, in the path of right. I walk alone and stumble in the dark. Show me the light and I'll go there. Let me find peace in my own heart and save me from my enemies.
Hello everyone, this is Valvis Alarm here for another round of talking games. For this episode, we're going to go deep into the violent world of the Hitman franchise, and with the up and coming Hitman Absolution coming out, there is no better time than to brush up on our history of everyone's favorite bar-coded assassin. Now, you can't talk about the Hitman games without talking about one of the most well-dressed assassins out there, Agent 47, whose voice and appearance was modeled after David Basin, who you might have seen in movies like Breaking the Wave and The Batantan. Agent 47 featured a barcode on the back of his skull which lists his date of creation and identification number, which was given to him in the first game. But what 47 is better known for are the different disguises he has to obtain in order to get to his high-profile target in every mission. One of the things that make Agent 47 awesome is how he doesn't care how foolish you may perhaps make him look in these costumes. You know you hired the right man when he's willing to dress up like a clown to get to his paid target. You know you're getting every penny's worth. Which all goes into a constantly expanding weaponry, from sniper rifles to machine guns and silent pistols, to his signature poison syringes and fiber wire. All this carnage started when in 2000, IO Interactive Studio developed the first game, Hitman, codename 47, on the PC. The game starts off with Agent 47 woken up in a testing facility where a mysterious man through a loudspeaker gives him instructions on how to escape.
You will learn by doing. Always remember, I am not only your guide.
1 year later, 47 now becomes a professional assassin working for the International Contract Agency, an organization providing buyers with trained assassins and mercenaries for services for a nice fee. 47 also had a support agent by his side in name of Diana Burnwood, who sends 47 on a mission to eliminate 4 high-profile targets. During his journey to kill these 4 targets, 47 gathers up letters giving clues that the 4 targets knew each other and were once part of the French Foreign Legion and were in talks about an experimental human and a close friend called Professor Ortmeyer. For his final assassination of a doctor in a sanitarium, 47 finds out that Ortmeyer is the man behind the voice in the beginning of the game. After taking out some heavy armed SWAT units, 47 then finds out the truth that he was the result of a cloning experiment to create the perfect soldier, which combined the genetics of the 4 men and Ortmeyer himself. Ortmeyer purposely let 47 loose from the asylum in order to test his performance out into the world. Ortmeyer was also afraid of the other 4 using 47 for their own purpose and had 47 dispose of them. After Ortmeyer set out a bunch of Agent 48s to kill 47, Ortmeyer makes the mistake of thinking 47 as a 48 clone and the player has to make the choice of staying under confinement or shooting Ortmeyer, where his last words were,
I didn't even recognize my own son. You broke my heart, my son. What good is a bullet-proof vest when death strikes from within?
From there would be 2002 release of Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, where 47 is now siding in a church, living as a gardener for the priest of the church, Father Venturio, who tries to show 47 that there's more to him than just a killing machine. Thereafter, the priest gets captured with a note for 47, telling him to bring $500,000 in 2 days. 47 heads back to the agency and to Diana to do a few missions for them. In return, the agency goes out and tries to gather up enough clues on the whereabouts of the priest. After taking contracts in countries like Russia, Japan, and India, eventually 47 gives up on the whole thing, thinking that Venturio is already dead. 47 then finds out that a man named Sergei Deverako, who has major roles in Russian organized crime, was the client who hired 47. Sergei was the brother of Jekharov, who was one of the 5 fathers of 47, and needed him to take out any targets that knew anything about a nuclear warhead that he just purchased. After a failed assassination attempt from Sergei to kill 47, using a clone called 17, they both ended up in a church in Sicily, where 47 would eventually kill Sergei and come to the understanding that he will never find peace, and leaves the pastor and the church behind. In 2004 would be the release of Hitman Contracts, where 47 starts off the game mysteriously wounded, only to collapse in his hotel room. From there on out, he would have flashbacks from previous missions from the original game, only in this time done in reverse, starting with the death of Ortmeyer. After the agency sends in a doctor to treat 47, our agent will wake up to a final expired mission briefing that revealed that he was hired to kill the US ambassador, Richard Delahunt, a famous tenor from the Paris, and their close mutual friend, Inspector Albert Fournier. After killing Albert Fournier and escaping a horde of police after discovering his hideout, 47 would head to the airport, where Diana suggests that his target was tipped off, and a quick glance on what to expect.
Sensed it for a while. Tonight confirmed it. But now I know where the pressure's coming from.
This is serious business. Do you have this kind of money?
Bringing us to 2006 Hitman Blood Money, where the story evolves around a reporter, Rick Henderson, who came to an interview a former FBI director, Leland Kane. Was supposed to be a conversation about a White House attack, quickly became apparent that Kane had other things on his mind. Kane's real intent was to discuss about 47 and spend most of the game discussing all the close calls 47 had with a rival assassins clone group, calling themselves the Franchise, with ultimately ending the story with 47 and the agency's demise. Killing off most of the agency and leaving only Diana and 47 left, Diana comes up with the idea of closing down the agency with one last contract to kill the assassin coming after them, and simply splitting the money with 47. After killing most of the Franchise group members, 47 gets an offer from a rescued CIA agent to prevent an assassination of the President of the United States. In return, he would get several $1 million worth in diamonds. The most advanced clone assassin from the franchise, Mark Persese III, and the Vice President, Daniel Morris, are set out to kill the President because of his pro-cloning stance, and both are afraid that if he gets re-elected, that their military edge in cloning might be in jeopardy. 47 would then assassin both and make it seem like Persese was the one who assassinated the Vice President. 47 would then group up with Diana, only to have her stick what seems to be a poisonous syringe, then get surrounded by a SWAT team. The story shifts present day, where 47 is scheduled for cremation. Diana injected 47 with a fake death serum, implying the antidote on her lipstick, and gave 47 his silver ballers and a kiss, waking him up and taking out everyone at the ceremony. At the end, Diana uses the franchise assets to reopen the agency, and 47's story ends with a Chinese man discussing a service that could be found in the back. And then the curtain closing. And that's pretty much the basics you need to know about the Hitman series. And if you ask me, Hitman Absolution can't come any sooner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.